May 28th or May 29th, the Lord gave me a vision of a wave, okay? And it was a tidal wave. And it was huge. And I just remember I was making lunch. Excuse me, I was making lunch. And then it was like the Lord said, EmmaSara, you're about to see the biggest wave of your lifetime. And I was just still making lunch, and then it just got really heavy, like as in not as in a heavy wave, but just it impacted me so deeply that I stopped making my lunch. I put down, what I was putting down for lunch, and then I came around, and my family was all sitting there waiting for lunch, and I was like, the Lord just told me we're going to see the biggest wave of His glory in our lifetime, and I was so excited about it. That I had to stop making lunch so I could go tell my family. And then my husband looks up, he said, "Hun, did you know that the largest wave ever surfed was just logged a few days ago, I think May 26th, in the Guinness Book of World Records?" And I was like, I didn't know that. So we all stopped, and we went to the living room to watch this humongous wave being surfed. And I literally watched it, and I was so amazed because I was like, this is no coincidence that the Lord would be showing me this glory wave that was the largest of my life, and then have the largest wave that was logged in the Guinness Book of World Record just a couple of days later. Because as I sat in front of our TV, I was seeing a visual of what it looked like to see this glory wave being ridden by a man. It was so spectacular. It was so amazing. It was so awesome that I was just taken back by the timing, okay? And so, hey, Savannah. And you guys have to just excuse me. I'm getting over a little bit of a cough, and I'm just trying to get through this so I can, it's like one of those things that just running its course. So you're just going to have to bear with me on this one, because I do want to get this word out. I do have a word for this month, okay? So anyway, the Lord had said that we would see this glory wave, okay, coming. And then for those of you guys who are following me or who are in my Families of Change group, you guys already know this, but you know that there was all kind, like I think in Ohio, people started taking pictures within weeks of me giving this prophetic insight that the glory wave was going to be covering the entire earth. And people started taking pictures, and they were being posted on social media. People knew I had given that prophetic word, and so they started to contact me and share these videos and pictures with me of what looked like an ocean in the sky. And they looked beautiful and humongous, like humongous waves, but they were clouds, but they literally looked like an ocean, right? And so all that came to my mind was the heavens declare the glory of the Lord, right? And so anyway, that was May 28th, 29th. And then June was a destiny decision month, and I really felt heavily that the Lord was calling us to make moves that were going to dictate what happens to us even within the next decade of our life, okay? And that was June. And so my son actually published a book because he knew he was in that destiny decision moment, and I had got a word from him quite a while ago to write a book, and so he wanted to make sure that he followed through on that. So he wrote his book, The Way of the Lion, which is for boys, and it is affirmations, devotions, affirmations, and his story. It's his story of pursuing in victory for boys to, and it's about them gaining confidence. Okay, so that all happened in June, and then July, the Lord said He wanted a life service, not just lip service. So that was a word that I got, that He wants life service, not just lip service. And so as we were going through June, I also heard that it was a verdict month, okay? And I have a whole video. All of these are caught on video, or not caught on video, but they're taped on video in my Families of Change group, and here on my personal page and Facebook. You guys can watch, and we now are starting to put them on YouTube as well. So every month I've been doing these prophetic videos. And so this month, we are now in August, and we're August 2nd. And so I asked the Lord what the word was for this month. Hey, I see you. Welcome. Okay, go ahead and tag some people, share this video so we can get this prophetic release out. But so for August, the Lord said that this month is going to be a month of escalation. Okay, a month of escalation. And the definition of escalation is rapid increase, a rise, which means that it could either become more serious or it could become more worse. And this is what the actual definition said. It said more serious or more worse. And so you could get a serious increase or you could get a serious decrease. But whatever it was, there was an escalation, a rapid increase, a rapid rise. Okay, so that was the word I got for August. It's going to be a month of escalation. So let me just pray. Let me get this straight, okay? So I'm going to just take a moment really quick so we can pray really quick. So Father, Lord, I just come before you, Yeshua, and I thank you, Lord, that you are with us, Father, Lord. I just give this word to you, and I thank you, Father, Lord, that any word that is not of you, Lord, that let it fall to the ground, and whatever is of you, let it be served to your people, Father, Lord, that they may eat of it, Father, Lord, and it may be well with their soul. Let them find instruction in it, and let you be glorified, Yahweh, in the name of Yeshua, Lord. Amen. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any. Okay, so month of escalation. So rapid increase, and I said become more serious or become more worse. And it's not increase or decrease. I want to just retract that, okay? It's not increase or decrease. It's more of, like I said, serious or worse. And before I got that specific word, it's also a suddenly month. And I know we hear that in the prophetic realm a lot. We hear about it's a suddenly month. But what the Lord showed me is that it's a suddenly month, in the framework of blessing, but it's also a suddenly month in the area of attack. Okay, so if any of you guys, we're only into day 2. I don't know if any of you have felt the suddenly attacks. If you have, let me know in the comment section. But this is what the Lord showed me, is that we should be getting, really excited about all the things that are transpiring, all the opportunities. Yes, we are in a time that is tumultuous, which is something I had prophesied some 3 or 4 months ago. Lord said we were coming upon tumultuous times. And so as we look at the news, we look at impending famine, we look at, tanking markets, we look at potential of World War III. And so there's a lot of things that are looming over our head right now. But like I said, there's been a succession in all the words that the Lord has given me. And, April was asking me, April, y'all, I have so many documented things that my coaching group saw me actually they saw me in videos, asked for things, and the Lord supplied for my family over and over and over again. That was asking me, April, okay? And then we had a marvelous May, and the Lord, there was things that we just marveled at. But as we started to get down to June, it was destiny decision, okay? July was now, I want life service, not lip service. And now we're here. And so, there was this window of, beautiful blessing, and there was nothing borrowing it. I didn't feel any kind of resistance. It was just being handed. It was beautiful. But the Lord said to look out for this August, that it is going to be a suddenly month, but it's going to be suddenly blessings, but also suddenly attacks. So just as soon as you get a blessing, there is an attack on the other side. Don't be dismayed, okay? Because I've already told you that this will be a suddenly month of blessings and attack. And so it doesn't mean that if something is, you're doing your best and you're giving your best to Yahweh, all right, that, and if you see things starting to not work, it's not because you're, ask the Lord, of course, but don't just assume it's because the Lord's not having favor with you anymore. It just might mean that he is having favor with you. And because he's having favor with you, then the sudden onslaught of the attacks are coming. Okay. And so also, while I was praying, I heard that this is the month to make haste and not waste, y'all. Okay. Make haste and not waste. The Lord doesn't want us to, be slack in our, what it is that he's told us to do. If there is something that he has told you to do, then you need to do it. If there is something that you have been putting off, from before, that God said to do it, do not make haste. Do not make waste, make haste, all right? Because a lot of times people are wondering why Yahweh's not answering them, or why aren't they going to, the next step, or why they're not graduating to the next level. But the fact is, I always remind people to go back and just jog your memory. And did you do the last thing that Yahweh told you to do? Okay, because that's, excuse me, that's so important. Did you do the last thing that Yahweh said to do? So if you're expecting him to move and do something new for you, but you haven't even done the last thing that he told you to do, then you need to make sure you're completing what it is that he told you to do, okay? So this month, don't waste, make haste. And then also, while I was praying, I heard that people are prepping. And Trisha, before I keep going here, can you go ahead and share this in the Families of Change group, please? I super appreciate it, and let people know that we're on right now. And then if you could put the link in Telegram too, I super appreciate it. So tonight I'm both on Instagram and I'm on Facebook, so hi to both audiences tonight. And like I said, go ahead and share this prophetic word and we'll get the word out. But one of the things I heard the Lord say is that people are prepping and preparing for perilous times, but they are neglecting to make sure that their oil lamp is filled. All right, so make sure that you're going to the Lord with this in prayer. Okay, everything I'm giving to you, go ahead and take it to the Lord in prayer and see what he says about it. Because if there were 10 virgins and all of them were virgins, okay, so all of them kept themselves pure in that one area, but yet even though they weren't out doing any hanky-panky, they were virgins, okay, they were all virgins, there was something that was different about them, and it was that 5 had oil and 5 delayed to get the oil, okay? 5 thought they had extra time, 5 thought they, you know, I don't know what they were thinking, but we know what the story says, and they were not ready, okay? And so the oil lamps need to be filled. Excuse me. So this is also a prayer month that the Holy Spirit is calling us to a place of deeper intercession. He's calling us to a place of deeper prayer. He's calling the remnant to a deeper place of intimacy. And I'm trying to think how many days ago, what are we, Monday? So this weekend, I really, really felt led to carve out a spot in my house, because all of our rooms are taken right now, and I really felt the Lord impressing upon my heart I needed to make a place, you know, where I was going to have a dedicated spot to meet with him. And so I'm one of those people that likes to talk to God, you know, before I even good hello there and welcome from Pakistan. So thank you. So you know, I like to just pray when I wake up, before my eyes are even open. I'm already having dialogue with God. And so this is the thing, is that we can get used to our routine. And, you know, because I'm somebody who does like to pray a lot, I pray a lot with my kids. I have a coaching team. They know that I pray a lot with them. I do a lot of touch and go prayers. I make sure that I'm covering everybody throughout the day. I could be driving and, you know, contact my coaching team and, you know, just put the audio on and we'll just do an audio prayer. And so it almost felt like I was covering all my bases until the Lord told me this month is a month that he's calling me into intimacy, but I know that it's a corporate word because he's working on the heart of the remnant to develop more intimacy with him, okay? I see we got some more people on, so go ahead and share this link right now. We're just giving a prophetic release for the month of August. But if you have been feeling a call to more intense prayer, more focused prayer, just let me know in the comment line. I want to know if you started to feel that nudge yet. And I want to tell you what you can do to just cultivate that time of intimacy and a time of prayer. So like I said, people are prepping for perilous times, but they're not preparing and putting oil in their lamps. And so by us creating this prayer space in our house, it's, you know, it's a prayer altar. It's a place where we meet. You know, we have church altars. We have some ministries call the table, like when we get around the table and we talk. Some ministries I know they've called the dining table the family altar, because that's a place where you meet with God. And so not in an inappropriate kind of way, okay, nothing crazy there. It's just a spot. So it's just you could even say a prayer closet, okay? I don't have any closets available. I don't have a room available just for a prayer spot. So what I've done is in my bedroom, I have a large bedroom. I've created a corner that is my mini spot with the Lord. And so I went out and, you know, I just got some things and I prayed before I went in the store and I was like, Lord, and this is where the intimacy comes in, y'all. This is where the intimacy comes in, because I included Yahweh in the shopping trip, okay? Like before I went into the store, I actually stopped and I was just praying. I was like, Lord, I was excited. I was like, I'm going to build, I'm going to build a little spot where I'm going to meet with you. And in our old house, some years back, we left Oregon in 2014, but I had a walk-in closet that was rather large, and that was my prayer closet. I used to go in there. I had scriptures. I had a Bible. I had, a journal in there, and I used to go in there. I had worship music, and I would just go in there and get on my face before the Lord, and I could stay in there for an hour to 2 hours. And I had trained my kids at that time that if I was in there, I was with the Lord, and they did not bother me, okay? And so the Lord reminded me that since we left Oregon and we moved into an RV, there was no space in the RV, okay, where there was 10 of us and 235 square feet. And so it's been a long time, and now we own a house, and the Lord was like, it's time to reestablish that intimate space with me. And so I went and I got some things. So this is what I was going to say. I prayed before. I see you, Kristen. I prayed before I went in the store. I was just like, Lord, I'm going to go shop right now, and this is going to be my intimate spot with you. Just show me like how to make this special, okay? Not just show me, Lord. I don't want to do what I want to do. I want you in this, Lord, okay? And before I walked in the store, I started to sing a song that I haven't sang for years, like a church song, like a old school church song that I used to sing when the kids were younger even. Haven't heard it for years, haven't sang it for a long time, but as I walked into the store, I started to sing this worship song out loud, like I was just, under my breath, but still singing it, the song about a sanctuary. And as I leave the store, I got all my stuff, I come home, and my daughter's visiting, and I tell her, I'm so excited, I got the stuff for my prayer corner, and I'm going to be beaded with God. And I just felt excited about it, even though I'm like a Yahweh girl, like I'm totally dedicated in my faith and everything. I just felt like a spot that I was going to be able to just, I just felt dedicated. And so as I'm telling her all of this, I start to sing that one song, okay, that same worship song about sanctuary, okay? So this is no kidding, y'all, okay? I go up to my room, and we moved into my house, some months ago, but we're still unboxing things and all that stuff. So I had a corner in the room that still had boxes I haven't gone through, but I needed to get everything out of the corner so I can make my prayer corner, right? And one of the things that was in the corner was an old Bible bag, and I haven't used this Bible bag in years because it was in storage. So I unzip it, I look inside of it, it's empty. There's a couple of loose papers, trash, things I don't need anymore, but there was one bookmark in it. I wish I had it here. I guess I don't have it here, okay? But there was one bookmark in it, and the bookmark was about the sanctuary and about building the Lord a sanctuary. And it was this, I was singing a song going into the store about sanctuary. We sang this sanctuary song to my daughter, and I opened up this Bible in the corner of where I'm going to do my prayer spot. Because I asked the Lord, I said, and I want confirmation about this, Lord. Like, I always want to make sure I'm on track. And as soon as I open up the Bible bag, there is a Bible, there's a book mark that actually has a whole scripture of just about the sanctuary. And so I was super encouraged. I wanted to share that with you because I want you to get serious about making a space and not just a time, but a space. And so what I wanted to tell you is that because I set up this place, and I have my Bible open, I have some different things. I have, like, listen, I don't want any statues on my prayer corner. I'm not trying to put any angels there. I'm not putting any graven images from heaven above or from the sea, because that's against the second commandment, right? And so not to have any graven images. And so I want to do this with a pure heart, but this is what has happened, okay? Every single time I go in my room and I go past the corner, I see my prayer spot, and it reminds me that I haven't stopped and just soaked in the Lord. Even though I have prayed throughout the day, even though I have, was seeking the Lord throughout the day, I hadn't stopped and just given God my slow, just because I'm always talking to God. I'm always moving with God. I pray as I walk, as I talk, as I drive, pray in the Spirit while I'm washing dishes, and it just is a reminder that I just didn't stop to pray. And so listen, this is what also the Lord showed me, is that we've done church. We used to do a house church for many years, and then we did virtual church. We lived in Timbuktu, so there was no church that we went to because we lived there for 3 years. After actually 5 years, we lived 4 hours away from a ton of things, and the next move was like 2 hours from the city. And so we didn't attend a church. And so what the Lord showed me while I was in my prayer, corner, is that I have not been worshiping with my kids. I have 8 kids. He reminded me, he's like, you're not, my younger kids were raised with my first 4, I have 8, were raised with a lot of worship. We were always singing songs. I used to have what was called Jubilee. Every single night we would have Jubilee. The kids would come in, we would sing songs, we would worship the Lord, we would dance, and we did this every single night. We would have Jubilee, we would turn on the music, and I had my little girls were little now. They're almost 23 this month, and 19, and they would twirl around in their little dresses, and they would just worship the Lord in prophetic worship, and it was beautiful. And the Lord reminded me that we don't do that anymore. So my 4 boys now, who are from the age of 4 to 12, don't really know about worship, in an ecclesia kind of way. They really just don't know it. And so what I decided to do is that I wanted to bring them into my prayer spot so that I could teach them about meeting with Yahweh. Okay, so they've been coming, and we sit down in the prayer corner, and we turn on a worship selections that has lyrics that, just like church songs. And it kind of made me sad, because I started putting them on so that we could sing them, and they didn't really know many of the songs. They know a lot of more of the hymns, but just typical church songs. They didn't know a lot of the church songs. And so it was like a conviction that the Lord gave me, that I needed to not only be praying throughout the day, but I needed to make a time to meet with him, to get into that intimate place, but also a place to teach my children, include them in the process. And it just feels really good, y'all. It feels really good to have my little boys with me. All right, and none of us has that great voice. I have a daughter who's got an amazing voice, but Von Kensington has a pretty nice voice, but most of us not so much, right? And then we got this little cough thing going on, so we're trying to sing, and one of my sons is like, Mama, are we singing or are we talking? I said, whatever we're going to do it with joy, and we're going to serve the Lord. I was like, son, it doesn't even matter if we're, having a good voice while we're worshiping. I said, all that matters is that we are worshiping. And so I just want to encourage y'all to make time for the Lord, because even in that time, in your prayer closet, in your prayer corner, wherever it is, that's a time where you're going to start putting oil in that lamp. That's how you're going to make it full, because you're going to hear the instruction of the Lord. You're going to get the intimacy of the Lord. You're going to feel him impress things upon your heart. He's going to show you what needs to be consecrated. He's going to show you what needs to be torn down, and he's going to be having that intimate time with you. And so I'm just checking out who's on. Hey Tracy, I see you. Kristen, yeah, she did say that she's been feeling that nudge. There are 3 things I have been feeling that to do more of. So Kristen, I appreciate you sharing that with me. And it, definitely, if you do a prayer spot or prayer corner, anybody, go ahead and share that in the Families of Change group. If you guys don't know about the Families of Change group, we have a community that's over, I think we have 1,500 in there now. But we are Families of Change. It is the Families of Change movement. We are chain breakers and change makers. So I hope you will join us in the Families of Change room. If you guys just got on, you guys could always watch it from the beginning so that you can hear the full prophetic release. But I'll just give some bullet points, and then we'll go ahead and hop off. So I thank you, everybody who jumped on for tonight for this prophetic release. Ooh, I have one more. I do have one more. This is an important one, okay? This is a serious one, and I can't get off without telling you. All right, so this is kind of like part 2 of this prophetic release right now, and like I said, go ahead and tag some of your friends and let them know about this, because this is something that the Lord impressed upon me. I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks ago, and I've just been sitting on it and praying about it, and just waiting upon the Lord on it. But one of the things I want to release is that there's a great harvest right now, okay? There's a great harvest. The fields are ripe. Excuse me. The workers are few. But as the glory of the Lord is going among the whole earth, and we're seeing this spectacular thing happening in this, in not just the spiritual realm, it's actually impacting laws, legislation, as we have seen. Okay, we're seeing things move and shake and being torn down and things being erected that are righteous. And so it's a beautiful time to be alive, right? But what the Lord showed me is that as the wave and the glory of the Lord is flowing all over the earth, that the enemy is coming up. And so while there is, I don't want to say specifically like revival, I don't know the right term for it, but the Lord is doing, the fields are ripe. So there are going to be a lot of people coming to Christ. And that's beautiful, y'all, because it's kind of like the Jesus movement. I can't remember, it's the 1960s, late 1960s, maybe it was 1970s, what year it was, but there was the Jesus movement, I think it was, Jesus Revolution. So this is kind of something similar. We're going to see a lot of people coming to the Lord, and that's always a beautiful thing. But the Lord did give me a caution, and the caution was this, okay, is that we're going to see a lot of Satanists coming to Jesus. So when I say Jesus, I'm going to say it like this Jesus, because it's not the true Jesus. And this is the part of the word that I needed to get out, is that Satan is going to be coming, because I've always said this for years, but that Satan is a bandwagoner, okay? He literally likes to jump on the bandwagon of whatever God is doing. So if God is doing a work, he will jump on the bandwagon and kind of ride the wave in the tailcoats of what's going on. But he'll come and, come as an angel of light, but really he's, an angel of destruction, right? And so this is the word of the Lord, is that and I'm not saying every Satanist, I'm not saying that Satanists cannot be saved. I'm not saying that God is not capable of doing that. We know that Saul was a, torturous murderer of people of the way, and he got saved. So I'm not saying that he is not capable of saving or delivering these people, okay? But what I do want to say, this is where the caution comes in, is that if somebody has been a former Satanist and gets up and starts immediately becoming a teacher, this is where the word of the Lord is, okay? Is that if you see a Satanist who just got out of Satanism yesterday, last week, last month, and all of a sudden they're coming on and teaching you something, to beware, okay? To beware, because the enemy is going to be planting decoy converts, and these people, and it's not that they're even lying, they're just totally deceived, okay? Because the Jesus that they've accepted is not really the true and living Messiah. It's a decoy. And so what they're going to do, these specific set of Satanists that have accepted Christ, is that they're going to start teaching strange doctrines. And they're going to be mixing in their new age thinking. They're going to be mixing in their, occult, paganistic views. And that is something that's going to be happening. And it's already happening now. And I've already been seeing it, because I'm always surveying the landscape, spiritually speaking. And there's this one guy who is extremely, extremely popular, former Satanist. And his site just looks dark. There's nothing about him that looks light. He has a very good when I say not very good he has a very popular podcast. He always has, spiritual talk on it. And when I watched, he had a rabbi on it. And I was listening to, and he's like, talking about how he had to break up with his girlfriend because, she didn't want to accept Christ, and like he had to do the right thing and the godly thing. So when you just first come on to him, he looks like a sold out believer in Yeshua, okay? But I already know that what I know that Satanists are going to be used by the enemy, okay, by Satan himself, to basically, Satan is going to lure them to a false Christ for the purpose of deceiving many more people. Because listen, I'll tell you right now, if that same guy came and tried to hand people Satanism and to lead them into Satanism, they're not going to go, especially if they have ever been a Christian, or if they've been raised to think of Satanism as being evil or scary, whatever. But if that same Satanist now becomes a Christian and is talking about love and charity and God and has a Bible and actually knows quite a few scriptures, because he actually is pretty well read, then that is the trap, okay? Because the Satan can catch a lot more people through deception of somebody who looks, you know, who looks, I don't know if he looks like a believer, what does that look, what does that mean? But sounds like a believer, okay? Has his Bible like a believer, saying Jesus is the only way. Broke up with my girlfriend because she didn't want to come to Christ. It sounds all real great, except when you start to listen to him. And I listened to his whole entire podcast. I didn't even have to listen to 2 or 3. Okay, at first I already got the red flags when I saw his site. I was like, okay, I got to survey this guy. And then after I started listening to the message, I was like, oh, no, this is not good at all. All right, this is not good. And he's totally cool with talking to the dead, and he had all kinds of, it's Gnosticism worked in with, you know, all kinds of other doctrines that are spiritual and New Agey, like I said. So I want you just to be aware about that. And then I have a second caution for y'all, okay? So the second caution I have for you is that anyone who has been into Satanism formerly, okay, and I'm not just talking somebody who wasn't a Christian and then became a Christian. I'm not talking about somebody who was worldly and then became not worldly. I'm talking about people who truly dabbled in Satanism, or they were heavily into it. So witchcraft and occult, doing spells, incantations, any of the above. Then right now, this month, the Lord showed me that the enemy, because I prophesied in 2019, December, well, the Lord told me December 2019 to prophesy, I'm sorry, not 2019, basically December of last year, 2021, the Lord told me 2022 was going to be marked by double deception, okay? The Lord told me this year would be marked by double deception. And so, I mean, I know we hear about double blessing, but the Lord said this year will be double deception. And so for the Satanism, what he showed me is that people who actually, you know, are serving him, who have the right Christ, it's the right, you know, Jesus that they are acknowledging, but Satan is looking for a kairos moment to get into their space, their life space, their mind space, to come in and to start to feed them unsound doctrine. And I've seen this over and over and over again. I have seen so many friends who started off in a cult come over to Christianity, to the real Jesus, to the real word, like, you know, even fellowshiped really deeply with some of them, had some really good relationship, only to see them fall off into strange doctrines. And this has been something I've seen time and time again, but the Lord said to watch out this month, because there's actual assignment that the enemy is putting out to not just tempt people who are believers that were former Satanists, but to actually use them, okay, to actually use them to start to sow, you know, not to like leave and get in a strange doctrine, but to actually be teachers of strange doctrine. And if you notice the pattern, he's actually using people who are said believers to teach unclean doctrine or a strange doctrine, and you know, things that would lead people away or get them into fanaticism or mysticism. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of that word. It's not fantasy, but I'm trying to think. Emotionalism, signs and wonders, miracles, but that are unclean, all right? Because we know that there will be some that are casting out demons, that are raising people from the dead, but we know that Yeshua said that he, in the end, will say, turn away from me, I never knew you, you workers of iniquity. All right, so it's not that it's impossible for people, I should say it more on the positive respect. It is possible for people to raise the dead and do miracles and stuff and still not have the proper connection with Yahweh, right? And so that is now the conclusion of the word I have. Oh, all right. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I thought I said all. Last one is that also this month is divine connections are being made, divine networkings, and the greater the Lord is bringing us together to network in bigger circles, to grow us for his glory, for his kingdom, to expand our boundaries and our territories, the greater the attacks, which lines up with what I said is that this is a suddenly month for both blessings and attack. But of course, these are all just warnings so that we know what to do when they come, and we know that if the attack comes, it's to block the blessing. And so the attack is not coming to punish. The attack is not coming just straight out, the attack is coming to discourage you, and so that you would throw in the towel, and so that you would continue in the place that the Lord has called you into. And so that is it, okay? That is officially it. Like I said, I went live on Instagram tonight and on Facebook. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys share this video. I hope you guys share it in your Facebook groups. Remember to follow me on Instagram, on IG. I'm EmmaSaraMcMillion. I also have a Families of Change IG. And then join our Families of Change group. And then if you're interested in hearing more about our coaching group, where we have weekly accountability calls, we have monthly coaching strategy sessions, we have a Telegram group where we are growing together, where I I do pop-in coaching. I'm a disc behavior life coach, and if you're interested in that, go ahead and just let us know in the comment section. Otherwise, you can find out more about speaking opportunities on EmmaSara.com. And that is it, y'all. Have a beautiful night. God bless you. Remember to live the life that you want to be remembered for. I'm EmmaSara, and thank you so much for joining.